Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is a follow-up to one of our most downloaded episodes, which was the best furniture flipping business tips out there. But this time I'm flipping the script, pun intended, but we're diving into the worst advice I've heard when it comes to flipping furniture, because not all advice is good advice. Some of it sounds helpful on the surface, but it can actually hurt your business. So let's get into the misleading trends and what you should do instead. So number one, I've heard this before many, many times. You need to be on every platform to grow your flipping business. Why this is bad? You will get overwhelmed fast and consistency will suffer. And I am going to talk about a couple times about my Furniture Flipping Academy. We will leave a link to that in the show notes. But this is not like a plug for that. But that is one thing that I talk about in one of the sections inside the Academy, because that's a question I get asked a lot. Focus on one platform. And I say one when you're first starting out. And that platform should be the one that you spend the most time scrolling on or interacting on, or the one that you're most comfortable in using just as yourself, as an individual. That's where you need to start. Then you need to be consistent there, and then you build it out from there. Start with one. Number two, sell your pieces cheap to build a customer base. Why this is bad? You're going to train people to expect low prices from you, and you're going to burn out with no profit. So instead, price your work for value and profit. Build a loyal following through quality, not discounts. And we talk about that inside the Academy as well. Number three, this is follow all the trends, because that's what sells. Why this is bad? Because trends fade, and chasing them constantly eats into your creative freedom and profits. And it also doesn't allow you to get good at the style that you really love or that you're really, want to do. So a trend, let's just say a trend is hand painting flowers on dressers. I don't know. I'm just making this up. But like that, for me, that is a no-go for me. I know I'm not going to like that. I know I'm not going to be good at that. I know that it's going to take longer than, to me, than it's worth it. And my pieces are more simple. They're more, go with a lot of styles, those kinds of things. So I'm not going to follow if that was a trend. I'm just saying, I'm making this up. I'm not going to follow that and try to learn it when in 3 months, nobody wants those anymore. You need to mix timeless style with subtle trends. Know what your ideal customer actually buys. And so when I say, and this is something else that I teach inside the Academy, you need to know who your ideal customer is. You need to know who your repeat customer is, because those are the people that you're selling to. And all of that depends on where you're selling it, how you're selling it. That's all gonna, and I teach you how to do this all inside the Academy. That's all gonna depend on all of those things, who your ideal customer is. And your ideal customer may not like trends, right? And so you don't wanna just follow all the trends, because that isn't what sells. That is not what sells. Number 4, skip learning the business stuff. Just paint and post. You can be the best painter in the world and still not make money if you don't understand pricing, marketing, or systems. Let's just be honest. I mean, if you don't understand the business side of it, it doesn't matter how well you paint. Spend time learning how to treat it like a business. That's what separates a hobby from real income. Okay, let me take a quick break to talk about one of my favorite things, Dixie Belle Silk All-in-One Paint. This is the paint that I always recommend to beginners because it takes the overwhelm out of starting a project. It has a built-in primer, paint, and top coat all in one can. All 3 of those things are in one can. So you don't need to buy or worry about multiple products or multiple steps. You just grab a brush, open the can, and go. But it's not just for newbies. I use it all the time because it saves me so much time without cutting corners. My projects go a lot faster because I'm not having to do all those extra steps and have those extra products. The coverage is beautiful, it goes on smooth, and the finish is super durable with a clean, low sheen look. Whether you're flipping furniture, freshening up your cabinets, or tackling a small weekend project, I am telling you, this paint is a game changer. I'll drop the link for it in the show notes so you can check it out. All right, back to the episode. Invest in your business. Get inside the Furniture Flipping Academy. There's so many resources and things inside the academy that will help you do that. Once you stop treating your, furniture flipping, your painting side hustle like a hobby, then you can start, making it a real business, right? Like you can start treating it like a business. Number 5, take on every piece you get just to get your hands on it. Why this is bad? Because you're going to end up with too many projects, limited space, stressed out schedule, and you're going to be overwhelmed. Like nothing's going to get done. Be selective. Only pick pieces that align with your style, your profit goals, or current capacity. Do not just pick up anything and everything. Do not do that. Number 6, don't waste time staging. Just get it listed. This is the worst. Poor photos and bland staging make your pieces blend in and they will sell slower or not at all. I cannot tell you how important staging is. To take the few extra minutes to stage well, take bright, well-lit photos, it makes all the difference in the world. Staging is one of the most important parts of your business. Number 7, only flip pieces that are free or dirt cheap. Not every cheap piece is worth your time. I'm telling you this. You will spend more time in repairs and materials and time and all of that. It's just not worth it. Focus on profit potential instead, not just the price tag. So a $40 piece that sells for $300 is better than a free one that gets you $80, right? So you need to look at the profit potential, right? That's the deciding factor. Number 8, I did this one. Use the cheapest paint and tools to save money. This is how I started. And it was so bad. Cheap supplies lead to poor results every single time. And they lead to more time, more stress, more tears, more frustration, fixing it all. I'm telling you, you'll quit before you even get started. Invest in good quality products where it counts, like your paints, your brushes. I'm telling you, it'll pay for itself within the first project. And I have shared many podcast episodes with my favorite paints. Okay, number 9, flipping is only for people with big garages or shops. This will discourage beginners from limited space from even starting or trying. I don't have a workshop. I do have a garage and I work out there when the weather's nice. Otherwise, I've worked in our living room, our kitchen, our back porch, my office. You do not need a workshop. You do not need, a huge space. You can flip from a small space. Apartments, basements, spare bedrooms. It's just smart setup and manageable inventory. That's all it is. You do not need a big old fancy workshop to be flipping furniture and making good money doing it. Number 10, this is another one that does come up a lot. You have to be super creative to succeed at flipping. Creativity is great, but it's not the only skill that matters, and it can be learned and developed over time, for sure. Focus on progress, not perfection. Learn basic techniques, and then let your creativity grow as you gain confidence. And that will happen naturally. So keep it simple in the beginning. Keep it very simple. Just pick up pieces that, they may just need a little, like a good cleaning, or maybe they just need like the drawers need some salve. The wood's really dry. Maybe it just needs a little bit of staining or something to go over it. Choose really simple pieces in the beginning. And then as you get more confident and the more you do it, the better you'll get, the more confidence you will get. And then you can start branching out and trying different things. And it is important to find that technique or that paint, whatever, that makeover that you really like, get in a good groove with and run with that. So let me know if this was helpful. If you have thought these things, share this podcast with somebody else who could use these tips, or that think these things. You've heard them say these things. Like I said, we will leave a link to the Furniture Flipping Academy inside the show notes. So click on it. It'll give you all the information. There is a spot where you can get a sneak peek inside the academy that'll kind of show you around. So sign up for that. That's free. Other than that, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast and found it helpful, I'd love if you could take just a minute to rate and review it. No matter where you're listening, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else, your support truly helps us. It not only helps more people find the show, but it also lets me know what kind of content you're loving. So if you have a second, tap the stars, leave a quick review, and know that I appreciate every single one of them. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you next time. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.